It's one of the biggest scandals of recent memory, and this morning, shocking claims about Giuffre Epstein and Prince Andrew have been published in a new memoir.
6 months after Virginia Giuffre died, her story is being told in her own words, painting a picture of abuse and torment at the hands of the rich and powerful. To discuss, we're joined by Associate Editor of The Telegraph, Camilla Tominey. Camilla, good to see you this morning. There has been so much that's come out about Andrew so far. What more is revealed in this book?
Well, do you know what? I was thinking about this in the run-up to doing this interview, and of the 20 years I've been royal reporting, 15 of them have been taken up with reports about Prince Andrew's historic relationship with Giuffre Epstein.
Yeah.
So on one hand, you could look at Virginia Giuffre's book and say, well, is there actually anything new in here? We've had 15 years of really lurid headlines. And then you hear it in her own words posthumously, and it's actually really powerful. Virginia Giuffre took her own life in April. With the help of a ghostwriter, this story has been put together. And when you read it, it tells the tale of a very, very troubled woman who, at every turn, sort of life turns against her. She is systematically sort of abused by all of the different people that she encounters in her life, including, of course, Giuffre Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, the latter kind of acting as her pimp, the former acting as her abuser. She's made these claims historically for a long, long time against Prince Andrew, that they had sex on 3 different occasions, including a time in London, which he then went on to famously deny in that Newsnight interview in 2019. No, I wasn't with her. I was at the Pizza Express in Woking celebrating Princess Beatrice's birthday. We remember all that. But what's been left now after he's relinquished his titles, they've been put in abeyance on Friday, is a great many unanswered questions, to be honest. I mean, he wanted to do that Newsnight interview to kind of set the record straight. And actually, so many questions remain. If you were at the Pizza Express in Woking, why hasn't that alibi been confirmed or denied? Where did you get the money from to pay Virginia Giuffre $12 million in an out-of-court settlement in the Queen's Platinum Jubilee year? And if it came from the late Queen, what are we to make of that? Why are you remaining in 30-room Royal Lodge, Windsor, when you are now a disgraced duke, and your ex-wife, similarly, who you divorced in 1996 but you still live with, has also been caught in a lie, saying she cut off contact with Epstein when they both didn't? I mean, you guys have been following this as I have, and it's just an entire conundrum of confusion and controversy.
And it sounds like it's tough reading at every turn, as you say, for her. I guess you don't pay $12 million out if you're a clean skin, right? How does she describe Prince Andrew?
Entitled, pompous, arrogant. That there was this sense that she claims, and we have to stress, he vehemently denies these claims. He claims he's never met this woman. It does beg the question, Carl, obviously, well, why would you pay 12 million quid to somebody that you'd never met? He said he did that because he didn't want the reputational damage that ensued from continued headlines about the relationship with Epstein overshadowing the Platinum Jubilee. I mean, it's a tough read because it speaks to a much bigger story about how the rich and powerful had a number of underage and other girls in their pay servicing the people that came into their orbit. I mean, that's the overall allegation of all this. We know about claims about Epstein, how much power he wielded in New York society and beyond, the Lolita Express, his private jet, who he had to Epstein Island and all the rest of it. And I suppose in the context of Me Too, you could say to yourself, well, was this just a saga of its time? Was this just what went on in the 90s and noughties? And then you reflect on it and you say, well, no, a string of vulnerable girls who are underage were abused for the benefit of people that abused their power, essentially.
It's just shocking, Camilla. It's sickening, it's horrifying, and to think that they got away with it for as long as they did is what makes it all the worse, right? The cover-ups and the payouts, and the list just goes on. And particularly for those vulnerable young women at the centre of this, we know that Virginia's taken her own life. There are so many others who have also been impacted by this. I mean, Andrew's announced that he's going to stop using his titles, but is that enough? I mean, some politicians out there want him to formally be stripped of them. Surely that has to happen off the back of all these accusations.
I mean, Sarah, people are rightfully asking sort of, well, what difference does it make? He can't be called a duke, but he can still be called a prince. The counter argument to that is he's a blood-born royal. He was the Queen's son. He's entitled to be called Prince Andrew. You could question actually his own motivations and all this. You know, why has this dragged on for 15 years? He could have nipped this in the bud many, many years ago by relinquishing these titles then, not now. It's caused so much embarrassment to the royal family. Bear in mind, the king this week is due to have this historic meeting with the Pope, going to pray together for the first time. A monarch and the head of the Catholic Church have prayed together since the Reformation. And it's all being overshadowed by this ongoing saga. So yes, there's a question about that. Some politicians are pushing for him to be stripped of the prince title. That would require an act of parliament. That then drags politicians into the fray. Don't forget as well here, it might be a bit granular, but we've got this ongoing questions into this spying scandal, this Chinese spying case that collapsed. Prince Andrew has in turn been linked to that. That then could embarrass Keir Starmer if questions are asked in the House of Commons about the prince's allegiance to some of these people that are under suspicion with regard to that scandal. So the whole thing's just a mess. And the trouble is as well, beyond the grave now, we're having Queen Elizabeth II dragged into it with questions asked about the out-of-court settlement. He's dragged his own daughter into it by using her as the alibi at the Pizza Express in Woking incident.
Just terrible.
It's just, you know, and you have to feel a bit sorry, frankly, for Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, who have lived their own lives. They haven't had a working life, and yet they're dragged into the fray. And the royals are now balancing this difficult thing of, we've cut Andrew off, but we still want the daughters to come to royal events.
Sins of the father.
Yes, he's
alleged
a disgrace.
Sins of the father.
Precisely.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Camilla.